Welcome, everybody, to this week's podcast episode for the Financial Freedom Podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. As you know, I always scour the globe looking for entrepreneurs, creators, influencers, pushing the boundaries, making an impact. And I talk about the four different types of freedom: time, financial, location, health freedom. And so today we have a very special guest, Lori Ann Iulio Casdia, and she's a transformational success coach and strategist. She works with executives, entrepreneurs, high income professionals, and it's going to be a fantastic conversation. I love talking to individuals such as Lorianne, and so we'll welcome her to the show. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me.
I know we had connected through Podmatch, and tell us more about your story, your background, and what you do.
Well, gosh, that's a lot. So, I basically help people get stuff done. A lot of people have great vision. I know I refer to myself as a super ball. Remember those little balls you bounce and they go all over the place? The reason why I do that is because I'm a visionary and I love working with visionaries. But here's the pickle with visionaries. We're always getting new ideas, right? And so dotting the I's and crossing the T's is really not our strong point. So based on that, I've discovered a 3-step methodology that allows us to stay focused and on our train track so we can get all these visions actually accomplished. So a lot of people who come to me really have procrastination issues. They're serial course takers. They have vision, but they don't complete things. And it's because the dreamer in us really doesn't allow us to follow through. We're here in New York, and then our minds are already in Florida because we're already, taking steps. So what I help people do is really get successful and take action. And that's one thing we're not always good at as visionaries, is taking action. So I love working with people like that. And again, I got into coaching years ago because of this. I felt like a failure. I felt like I never completed anything. I would start something, great energy, and then go, oh, pretty sparkly over here. So kind of sparkly, syndrome, the shiny syndrome, shiny object syndrome. And so I really needed to figure out what I needed to do to get myself focused to complete tasks. So those open messes, incomplete tasks, I actually offer a free PDF to help people go through that. So we close all those up and open ourselves up for success, open ourselves up for bringing in success and a lot of gratitude, things like that. I use a lot of different methodologies.
Yeah, I love that. And so you talk about again, clients after this that want to check it out more can contact you, but you have this idea of the Soar to Success methodology. Kind of just highlight it, big picture overview.
Yeah. So what we do is we sit down, and great question. Thanks, Chris. We sit down and we look at what you're doing. We look at all your opens and incompletes. We look at what you want to manifest. So I'm big picture backwards to small. So when we order a pizza, we don't eat the whole pizza at the same time, right? We don't take one big bite and whoop, pizza's gone. We slice it into slices and then we chew on those slices, right? Same thing with a project. We come up with this great idea. We have this project. Now what we do through my strategies is we break it down into successful steps to get you where you want to be. So I basically fill that gap between where you are and where you want to be. We work right in here. So that's the second step, is that's all the work. We're going to work in there to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And then you just soar to success from there, because now you have the rhythm, you have the focus, you know exactly what steps to take. And that's sometimes what makes people not take action. They don't know where to start. And that's where strategists like myself comes into play. And I was like, I got this. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, and then how did you? I know. How did you develop these steps to sort to success? And what is this sort of success? What is I know, because success means different things. So what does that mean to you?
Well, success does mean different things to everybody, right? So something that's successful to me is entirely different to someone else. Sometimes people think success means making millions of dollars. Sometimes people think success is just being able to be with their family more, and both of those are very different, but very, very high level success. For me, success is wealth, and wealth isn't just financial. Wealth is family, friends, who I surround myself, my network of people, because our network is our net worth. And the people we surround ourselves with, if they're uplifting like you, Chris, those people, those are the people I want to be around, the high vibrating people who are just out there doing really great stuff and helping lift each other up. And that's what I mean by soaring to success. We help each other lift each other up. And through that, we manifest everything that we desire in our life. And it's very easy to do as long as we stay focused.
Talking about focus is, I know, because and I love this idea how you introduce this idea where client, vision and dreamers, and they start something but they don't finish. Talk about staying in your lane, and because we have social media, and it's like you look at it, it's like it's like you feel like you're behind. So tell us more.
Yeah. So the phrase I always use is keep your eyes on your own paper. Keep your eyes on your own paper, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be right then. And yeah, I fall into that. That's sometimes known as imposter syndrome. It's like, why am I doing this? All these other people are there. They don't need me. First of all, there's plenty of people out there that need services like we offer. Second of all, as entrepreneurs, we are visionaries. If you have this fire in your belly, then you're one of my people, because that fire in your belly is the one that sustains you through the hard times. And just staying focused in your lane is just take those steps. Don't worry about social media. Matter of fact, turn it off. Shut it down. Shut it down. Only utilize it where you need to. But you could get into, and my clients have to block. They only have a certain amount of time, and we negotiate that they can spend on social media. And that includes them doing their work on social media to get their messaging out. So by spending that small, because you can waste hours. It's like watching TV. You can keep watching that show over and over and over again, or those movies one after another, and lose days at a time, right? I'm sure that's happened to all of us. I know it's happened to me. Sometimes we need those days. That's okay. That's a permission slip. But we need to really look at our time and say, hey, are we taking small little steps, small enough to do it, but big enough to make a difference towards our goal? Are we doing that? If that's the question we keep asking ourselves, we won't binge watch, we won't waste time on social media, we won't get sucked into TikTok, things like that. So we have to be careful with that. It's helpful. It's a good marketing tool, but we can't be sucked in.
Yeah, I love that. And usually I love these, on the phone there's apps that can turn it off, or you introduce roadblocks, you have to log in and all this, so, and then just kind of limit. And yeah, I love your idea of intentionally using social media. Don't let social media use you, but
Yes.
use social media to get your message out. And I love that.
Real important. Be the master of your time.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody else suck it, because people will. They'll take all your time, and you think you're doing some good stuff. And in the meantime, you look back and it doesn't take you to your goal. And if you're not being taken to your goal, like my goal is to touch over 1 million people with success principles, so I can help them soar to success and get to their dreams and visions, right? And that's just lifts me up to watch somebody else attain what they want based on my little bit of guidance, right? So when you're taking off and you're not taking steps to your goals, you're now not serving the people you're supposed to be serving. That's your purpose. So once you find what your purpose is, you really need to stay uber.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so easy to get distracted. Like, that's why you have to like turn off all your email, all of your notifications, and just focus on that one single task, because there's so many things. And
Yeah, and that's why you need a coach. That's why I really recommend coaches, whether it's me or someone else, it doesn't matter. And make sure when you get a coach, that coach has a coach. Because if you have an uncoachable coach, they're going to really not be a good coach for you, because they're going to get into a jam. They don't have somebody guiding them. We all need accountability. Every single one of us. I'm sure you do too, Chris, that we have somebody we go to. I have 5 different coaches. They coach me on different things, right? So when I get stuck, or when a client is asking me something and I'm not sure which way to go or navigate, I go to my coach and talk to them. I'll give you an example of what I mean. You're in the water in a pool swimming. You're treading water, right? That's you in your business, working on your business every day, in your business, not on your business, in your business, right? Keeping your head above water, trying to make sure you don't drown, right? I'm on the coping as your coach. I'm your lifeguard, and I can see full spectrum. I have no emotional attachment to the outcome. I want you to be successful. That's my only attachment, right? But I don't have an emotional attachment to the employees. I don't have an emotional attachment to the outcome. I don't have an emotional attachment to the product or the service you're giving. I'm just looking at it holistically. But I can also tell you shark incoming on the front. You got dolphins behind you. We need to work on these things, right? That's when we're working on your business. So there's two elements to your business: working in your business, day-to-day stuff, which again can distract you from actually working on your business, which is your goals, your future. How are you going to get from today to tomorrow? If we're in that treadmill, right? And we're just working in our business day to day to day. And every morning we go in and it's like, okay, what fires do I have to put out today? We're not working on our business for the future. We're really not going to grow. Here's an example to that. I have a client who just recently sold his company, but prior to us working together, he never looked at his numbers. He never looked at what he was doing day over day, week over week, month over month. And he was losing out on opportunities by seeing patterns. Am I dropping off? Am I increasing? He just looked at how much money was he bringing in. That worked for him. When he started looking at his numbers, he went, oh my gosh, I said, here's an opportunity for growth. Here's another opportunity for growth. As we were looking at the customers he was serving, the different lines he was offering. So when you look and take time working on your business, he increased his business 3 times that year in his numbers, because now he was focused on speaking to those particular areas of his business. And now he brought in 3 times the number of his previous sales the year before. So it's really important to work on your business, work with a coach, have accountability, and we can't do it ourselves, right? One more example of not being able to do it ourselves. Can you proof your own work?
No, I mean, I can look at it, but it's always good to always have a fresh set of eyes, or
Yes, and that's what a coach is. It's a fresh set of eyes. I can't proof my own work, because I know what I wanted to say. And for me, that's what I see. But when someone like you look at my work and you're like, Lorianne, is this what you mean? I'm not clear on this. Oh, okay. And we just fix the messaging, things like that. So we can't look at our own work. We shouldn't do it by ourselves. And we're kind of in a silo as visionaries. We can't go to our employees, right? Because they're relying on us for the answer. We can't go, if we have a board of directors, we can't go there because they're relying on us to have the answers too, right? And we don't want to go to family and friends, because that kind of crosses over a different line. So having a coach and having an accountability partner, having someone you trust in your corner, all that stuff stays between us, and it allows you to bounce things off somewhere where you get really good accountability, you get really good resources, you get really good feedback. And feedback is the number 2 most important thing you can get for your business, is feedback.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. That's timeless, because a lot of people, they, especially when you get feedback from like followers, and some people take it the wrong way, but actually it's a great way to improve and kind of adjust your message. That's beautiful feedback. And then my follow-up question is, because you talk about coaching, and I love this because even like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, they all have coaches. And so how do people know what coach will work for them, or kind of some criteria?
So you want to get a coach who actually is serving their previous self. So the people who work for me are other Super Bowls or other visionaries. So you have to look at, who do they serve? Are they a visionary? If you're having procrastination issues, if you're, a dreamer but never follow through, if you then beat yourself up because you never follow through, and that causes fear and doubt, which is putting yourself in a hamster wheel, that's the kind of person who would come to me. Other coaches, like, I'm also a life coach, but I incorporate that into what I do, because you can't separate your business you and your life you. It all intertwines. To me, I call it a tapestry. Some people call it life work balance. I call it a tapestry because you can't separate it. If you're having a bad time, personally, you're probably going to bring that bad time into work. And so we need to work on whatever that subject matter is. But if you're having a relationship issue, you want to go to a relationship coach. I can help you, but I would give you a name of some relationship coaches I have. But as far as business coaches go, you really want to go to someone who has the experience. I have business and marketing experience, 35 plus years. You want to go someone who has experienced what you experience. If they have never owned a small business and you're a small business, how are they coaching you? They don't know what you're going through. So look for someone who has the background of what you're doing, not necessarily the subject matter, but that they are a small business, that they've worked with large businesses. I've worked with Fortune 100s and I've worked with startups, mom and pops. I love mom and pop startups. I love the visionary, the excitement of leaving a job, working for someone else and starting their own business. Love, love, love being in that zone because they're so energized, so it's great. But I also like working with C-suites in Fortune 100. So to answer your question, look for someone who has a similar background as far as their expertise and the expertise you're looking for. Make sense?
Yeah, I love that. And it sounds like, quite, for the audience out there, listening, it sounds like you have a lot of things to offer. One thing is as we kind of end this, we're coming to the end, is you talk about your book, Women Who Dream, and how can people find that, and any closing thoughts and how people can contact you and follow you.
Great, thank you. Yeah, Women Who Dream is my #1 international bestseller. I, with 29 other authors, put this together with Kate Butler, who's a publicist. And my chapter is called Two Choices. You only have two choices. Take it all the emotion. It's either yes or no, forward or backwards, stop or go, right? There's only two choices in any decision you have to make. We mess it up with a lot of emotions and what about this and what about that? It's either you want to do it or you don't. The rest are just excuses and avoidance tactics, right? So my chapter talks about that and my personal experience with that and learning curve on that. And you can reach me at LDC 516-9831. You can call me anytime, text me anytime. And you can find the book, by the way, and I have another book online as well at Amazon.com. And thank you for that. And you can go to ldcstrategies.com to listen to my podcast, which is Healthy Lifestyle with LA. And you can get the book there as well if you want a signed copy. Yeah. So thank you so much for having me on, Chris.
Yeah, and for all the listeners out there, let's thank Lori for coming onto the podcast, really dropping a lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of education experience, kind of giving you a taste and flavor of what she does and helps clients. She's also on YouTube as well as her podcast. Check those out. All of those resources will be in links in show notes. And with that, thanks so much, Lori, and it was a great pleasure to talk with you.
Great pleasure here too, Chris. Thank you so much. Have a great day.